219! 219!
Forward Progress, a Chicago Bears podcast with Dan Bernstein and Matt Abaticola on 312 Sports.
The game may not be over, but it's certainly over enough as we stand 45-21, and the Bears are tripping all over themselves so far in Detroit. An extremely disappointing game, and there's no reason to sit around and wait for this one to come to the bitter end, because we just asked that they play better. We didn't expect them to win, Maddie. Dan Bernstein, Matt Abaticola with you here, Forward Progress, 312 Sports. This is our live Bears postgame. Thank you for being here with us and for hanging out. We figured we would just get the jump on it, but you know, my criticism of the Bears today began even before the game. It began when I looked at the inactives, and I saw 2 second-round picks and a third-round pick as healthy scratches.
Yep. Yeah, and then the game starts off, Dan, and we talked a lot about special teams, and the opening kickoff is kicked out of bounds. And the irony there is the inability to do it last week when you needed it in the game to save time, and then you start the game off there, and it just, again, not a huge deal. It's not why they lost the game and why they look terrible at times. But you just come out, and that's your opening kickoff. You kick the ball out of bounds to start the game.
Well, they again had a terrific first drive. A great game plan, scripted. He knew what he wanted to run. He knew what he wanted to see. But this is the second game in a row where you don't get anything out of that. The whole idea of the success on that drive, even failure on the first drive, even being able to call the plays and learn something from them, if you have any kind of coaching advantage whatsoever, that's supposed to be your chance to learn, to poke and prod a little bit and see what you can do later in the game. And we're not getting any of that.
No, we didn't. And, and we talked about this at length during the week, Dan, about the expectations for the game. I didn't expect the Bears to win this game. I wanted them to come out and at least look like an NFL football team. They accomplished that. Not a very good football team.
You didn't say good NFL football team.
No, I didn't say good. I just said, but like last week, it looked like they had never seen a football field before. That was embarrassing. The coach looked like he had never done anything with a football team before. The quarterback looked like he had never played the game before. At least this week, they look like a bad NFL team. I didn't expect them to win this game. I thought there was really no shot they'd win this game. I actually had the Lions laying 6.5. I thought that wasn't enough. But they came out and they looked terrible.
Jared Goff is 22 of 27 for 330 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. An absolutely phenomenal performance against no pass rush to speak of. Nothing.
Yeah, they pressured him a few times, Dan. Not enough consistently, but there's got to be something in the preparation for this game, knowing he does not move. He is not going to escape the pocket and get downfield and hurt you. You don't have to worry about that with him. There should be something in the preparation to get after him, with even more intensity than a running back, than a quarterback who can hurt you with his feet. Why that wasn't there, why he had the ability to step up in a pocket and look downfield for 5 or 6 seconds. I don't care who's starting in the backfield. I don't care if it's your starters or your reserves or third string guys or practice squad guys. It doesn't matter. 5 or 6 seconds, you're going to get beat in the NFL. It's just that simple.
Now, I apologize because this is something I've never done before, ever in my career. I've never gone on to do any sort of Bears post-game analysis while the game is actually going on. So, and I know that this is something that was explained to us by our friends at Score North up in Minneapolis. That they've
to be
done
careful,
do
it with caution.
Yes, and they had the greatest comeback of all time as they decided to go on and fire everybody, and they ended up winning the game. So, if you see me kind of looking away, that's why I'm looking away, because this is an entirely new setup
nothing to do
for
with me.
No, it's nothing. I can't keep my eyes on Maddie. It's just what it is.
It's too hard for you. I know.
Yeah, sorry. Do you remember when we talked about the Bears having tight ends? Do you remember that?
Yes, I think so.
I think they have
a guy they drafted and then a guy they extended his contract, right?
What's going on? What is going on right now with that? Because Cole Kmet has one target. He caught the ball. I give him that. He caught it. So that's great. And is Colson Loveland okay? Is he all right?
Yeah, it's funny when my 12-year-old son is like, why did, like, where he's in the second quarter of the game we're watching, he's like, why did they draft Loveland? Like, he's going to be a bust. Like, well, I don't know if he's a bust, buddy, but they're certainly not throwing him the football. And I said last week he was in the game to block, to be an extra blocker because their offensive line needed some help. He's like, why is that? He goes, other tight ends catch the ball.
So you have a first-round pick who is invisible. You have 2 second-round picks and a third-round pick who are healthy scratches. Not a great day for Ryan Poles. Not to mention, and man, I've got a long list of stuff here. Second quarter, 3rd and 1, sneak, short. 4th and 1, sneak.
4th and
short.
inches.
4th and inches, short. You revamped your inside line to the tune of, it's $68 million in contracts. You traded a 4th-round pick and more for whatever you got in the Jonah Jackson deal. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand what that expenditure was if you can't get half a yard on 4th down there.
Yeah, you didn't need a half a yard. And it's interesting. Jonathan Vilma doing the game with Kenny Albert. You remember the Bears' first offensive snap was a direct snap to Swift.
Correct.
And in his analysis of the game, former player, Super Bowl champion, he said this is a really good move by Ben Johnson. It, quote, takes some pressure off Caleb, end quote. The game had just started. It was the first. What pressure are we taking off your number 1 overall goddamn pick that you need to do a direct snap on the road in the first play of the game to take pressure off your quarterback? Please.
Another touchdown for Amon-Ra St. Brown. It's now 51-21.
Hey, I'm going to tell you this. Listen, jot his name down. He is going to be a good wide receiver in the NFL.
Yeah, good call there, Scout.
St. Brown.
Good call there.
Thank you.
This reminds me of a game that I covered in Detroit at the Silverdome. This reminds me of the Scott Mitchell game against the Dave Wanstedt Bears, and you can look up the score. I believe it was 50-something to 20-something.
You covered that game?
I was at the Silverdome for that game, and that was the game where Wayne Larrivee, during his play-by-play, said Mitchell back to pass, and why not? Because the Bears were playing off coverage and allowing them to just carve through. I actually think that Goff has had a better game today than Scott Mitchell did in that game. It is now 52-21. 52 points for Ben Tressman's Bears. 52. And I understand they're hurt. And that's another aspect that I want to get to here also.
Jalen Johnson injury.
Well, I mentioned this last week on Forward Progress regarding the Bears tiring on defense. And Jonathan Vilma pointed it out too.
Yes, he did.
Because in the second quarter, Vilma said on Fox, the effort on that drive was bad. You know what else is bad on that drive? The numbers. Because they gave up, when they went down 21-7, the Bears defense gave up plays of 9 yards, 9 yards, 18 yards, 11 yards, and 8 yards. That's called getting gashed.
Yep.
I'm very curious about the Bears' conditioning. If you're playing outside in 90-degree weather in September, we've seen it before. We've seen that famous game that was down in Miami when everybody got tired. There was a game here years ago when I think it was in Jacksonville, actually, where it was the Curtis Enos tired game when he came out and he couldn't come back in the game because he was too tired. This is not that. Last week it was gorgeous, a cool day. This week, climate controlled, indoor game. And yet it appears they're tiring. And two of your best defensive players re-injured their previous injuries.
Yep.
They re-injured their previous injuries. They weren't knocked out. They weren't sprained ankles. These weren't traumatic brain injuries. This was your corner re-injuring his groin, out for the game. And your linebacker in TJ Edwards re-injuring his hamstring, out for the game. And please understand, a lot of this is beyond the control of trainers and doctors. But I want to know where the line of their control meets that limit. Because it's not okay. Maybe they should have sat another week. Maybe not. But this is 2 games now where I've written down conditioning. Are they in shape?
You have talked about that. You talked about it at length in the first game. And what Jonathan Vilma said, he actually added too. He said that their eyes were tired. They looked tired after the touchdown that made it 21-7. So that's him saying that, and he knows what he's talking about. I mean, this is a Super Bowl champion, awesome linebacker. So he saw a defense that was gapped. That's what he saw in watching. That's what he gave you. So why is it happening 2 plays in a row? Now, Jalen Johnson, when I heard that he was starting, Dan, they told us that he's going to give it a go. It's an important divisional game. Not as important as him being healthy, though. Not as important. If it meant 1 more week means complete healing, then you sit against the Lions. He made a fantastic play on the play he got injured on. That was another catch to Brown where he had the first drive, he had a catch of 34. The second drive, they stopped him. The third drive, a catch of 32. That was going to be a big third down reception. He made a hell of a play, but he gets injured. If he wasn't ready to go, he shouldn't have gone, regardless of the opponent. It's week 2. You can't tell me after week 1 that I can't criticize this team because not enough time has passed, but then force him out there to play if it's only week 2. You can't have it both ways.
Well, I also don't think it was an unreasonable expectation that the Bears simply acquit themselves better. That was all that was asked.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And you can judge whether or not they did in this game, but I sure don't like the way the scoreboard looks.
Well, it's interesting. Listen to the pregame show and hearing Jeff Joniak. One of the first things he said was talked about the communication issues. Like that's the kind of stuff I wanted to avoid last week with Ben. That's what I thought we were avoiding. Those things that you could prepare and overcome with preparation. Now you can't have a guy who's a better team or a better player than you. That's going to happen. But being more prepared for a football game. So those are the things I wanted to see cleaned up this game. Still too many penalties, way too many penalties on the offensive line. But yeah, they cleaned up those things that I think he can control as the head coach.
Caleb Williams is out. Tyson Bagent is in.
And that's
so that decision has been made.
Reflective of the score.
Man,
I know people are excited about it now. People are getting fired up.
That's with an eighth of the game left. That's how bad this is. That is with 7 minutes left. That is halfway through the 4th quarter. You are using this as a developmental opportunity for your backup quarterback. And I don't think it's punitive in any way.
Yeah,
I think that this is simply to make sure he doesn't get hurt in a lost game. But wow, that is something. And it's certainly, a lot of people are going to get the wrong message from this. I do think because people are going to go out of their way to try to misunderstand what's happening.
Particularly if he goes, let's say he goes 7 for 10 and he throws 2 stupid touchdowns. Yeah, it's going to be.
Well, then Ben Johnson's bringing it on himself if that's the case.
Yeah,
because they have to be very, very clear about what this move is. And I've got the sound off here and just trying to keep an eye on it. The cutaways to Caleb Williams show him obviously looking unhappy, and he's not there talking to anyone. But I do know the way that the Bears fandom is going to react to this, especially if Tyson Bagent drives the Bears down the field against a defense that is giving them the middle because they're leading 52-21. That's the score. Unbelievable.
Yeah, and right now you look at the Lions. This sounds like a Ben Johnson offensive coordinator led Lions team. 173 yards rushing for the Lions in the game. David Montgomery with 57, Jamar Gibbs with 94, averaging 7.8, 5.2 yards per carry. I mean, just running the ball up and down on the Bears defense. And again, getting to a guy who is showing the ability to step up in the pocket, and that's the most he can move, and barely getting any pressure on an immobile quarterback, giving him 5 to 6 seconds to throw the ball. When you do that with Goff, you're gonna lose every single time. He is 23 of 28, 11.9 average, 5 touchdowns, quarterback rating of 156 right now.
DJ Moore did nothing when it mattered, and he's been targeted 6 times. He's got 5 receptions for 46 yards. Can we be kind of done with whatever people wanted to see from Kyle Monangai? I don't know what you want to see from him.
Did he get any carries? I don't think he's had any carries. No,
he was targeted 3 times. He dropped one badly. He has made 1 catch. And at the moment, he has 3 carries for 0 yards.
0 yards, yeah.
Correct.
So that's good, right?
Well, they don't really have anyone other than Swift.
Yes, they don't. And this is, again, something we talked about going into the season, about the running back room. Can we also just officially name Rome Odunze the number 1 wide receiver and just get that done and over with? He's number 1.
Yeah, he had a bad drop today too.
He did. Oh no, he had a couple balls.
Actually,
in his
a couple
hands.
drops.
Yeah, couple that he should have held on to. But I mean, can we just say it that he's the number 1 wide receiver? It's pretty obvious there too.
Well, he's a number 9 overall pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that's a big deal to say that your number 9 overall pick is your number 1 wide receiver.
But Dan, it is a big deal when you look at what the general manager did and you look at where he's at right now on the salary cap hits for the season. Who's number 2 on your team? DJ Moore. Who's number 1? Montez Sweat. So again,
wait, I remember him. I remember Montez Sweat, but they're talking about a blast from the past. Wow, that's a name I haven't heard in a while. How's he doing?
He still plays. He's on the team.
Really?
Yeah, he's a starter for the Bears.
For whom?
The Bears. This team.
Oh, he's on the Bears.
98. Yes.
Okay. All right.
Montez Sweat. Yes.
Great. Thank you for telling me that, because I
you
remember
check him out next time.
Man, I remember a long time ago there was something they called the Tez effect. Remember? It's that just him being out there made everybody better.
Yeah, so next week when they play the Cowboys, by the way, can't wait for the top 10 Cowboys of all time. They play the Cowboys. Look when the defense first gets on the field, you'll see Montez Sweat. He's there. No, number 98.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to write that down.
He had a sack today that was taken away by offside penalties. So offsetting
right,
penalties.
So he didn't have a sack.
Eliminated that 1 sack he could have had.
Okay, I'm going to write that down. That you said that you claim, and you can prove this.
I can
that
prove
Montez Sweat plays for the Bears.
Yes, he does. So when the defense
that.
goes out there next week, first play, he'll be on the field, number 98.
Now, you mentioned that we are going to be doing the top 10 Cowboys of all time. I can't wait for that. And I'm not even going to mention the top 10 Lions of all time that we missed, because they got to play the Lions again.
Oh yeah,
we'll get to our next group of Lions. So don't worry about that. And somebody said, what are you going to do when eventually find the top 10 Bears? Bye week.
Oh, yes.
Yes, the bye week is when we're going to be doing the all-time top 10 Bears. Don't
Very excited
you worry.
For that too.
Yeah, don't worry, because that is something you only get on Forward Progress. And you are listening to the Forward Progress post-game show here on YouTube. Dan Bernstein, Matt Abatacola, and we just got our first comment there. That is, Matt, Y-O-U-R, not you are, you're a liar. You have a liar?
He's upstairs.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
I actually have a liar, L-Y-R-E, and I don't know how to play it yet, but I'm going to take lessons.
Oh, that's funny, because I discovered this brand of non-alcoholic spirits, and it's Lyre, L-Y-R-E.
What are non-alcoholic spirits?
You can make cocktails out of them, but there's no booze. So you can make
I don't
mocktails.
get it.
Yeah, it's a mixer that is made from like herbs and different things to mimic the taste and flavor of an alcohol flavored booze, but there's no alcohol.
All right.
I didn't mean to get into that.
I still don't get it.
But just check,
right.
whatever.
I still don't get it.
We'll
okay,
save that for the
all right. So make sure if you.
Oh wait, hang on. There's another comment there.
What? Oh, okay. Oh, there you go.
I'm not sure what I lied about.
Thank you for correcting yourself, Fernando. Much appreciated.
What did I lie about? Maybe he can tell me, Fernando, but that's fine.
So where will Ben Johnson come down after this one when he says how much of this is, well, hey man, I got a bigger job than I thought I had? Because he can't say that. But it's too early to start picking at some of the seams of this, some of the seams that aren't quite as tight as we thought. And one of those is the personnel side of this, as we've pointed out. At what point is Ben Johnson going to start whispering to people, hey, I mean, we got a couple of drafts worth of guys here who are inactive, and I don't really know what I can do with these people here. I wish I had such and such from back in my history to come in and start making some of these picks, because we believe that the Loveland pick was his, right? That wasn't Poles.
Correct. Well, that's what we believe.
Okay.
That's what we believe. I mean, obviously Poles makes the pick, but I'm sure he had the influence on it that this is the guy we need because this is the kind of stuff that we run. This is what our offense will look like. I bet you he even had a, either did it on a whiteboard or he had a PowerPoint presentation of what the offense will look like. And he sat Ryan Poles down, and Poles is like, yeah, I'm not really good at picking anyway. So sure, why don't you take this pick?
It was supposed to be better than this. No matter what anybody wants to say, no matter what any Bears apologist wants to say, I think we can all agree that this is not okay, that it was supposed to look better than this, that we weren't going to have garbage time midway through the fourth quarter of a divisional game.
But Dan,
coming off a loss.
Again, you can't judge a team until at least 4 or 6 weeks into the season. So I think you're being premature of your judgment, that it's unfair to call them bad. I mean, you look at it, really, Ben Johnson barely knows Caleb Williams. He's still getting to know the player. How can he run an effective offense without knowing the player, right? So let's cut him some slack. I think this was a really good showing, 52-21. I think the Bears are well on their way to playing Dallas next week.
Yeah, it's an immensely disappointing turn of events, and I agree that they got screwed on that end of half play. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that before. It was a bad call. It resulted in the stoppage and then the runoff. But you know what? Make a play then. Play over it. Make a play then.
You know what that sounds like? That sounds like the Hail Mary play in the Commanders game that derailed the entire season. Like here it is, one play that derailed this game.
Twice I wrote down that Tyreek Stevenson's getting picked on.
Oh, yeah.
Twice.
Yeah, we had one of our commenters that said he should get cut immediately, which he should have been last year.
Well, that's a different argument, but I don't think you can do that because you're down to Nick McLeod. You're playing guys you never heard of.
And then your guy Wright got in the game again today, too, after Jalen Johnson went down.
Right. I think we can be done with the whole Nashawn Wright training camp raising eyebrows,
well,
Zach Bowman award.
You can't now when Johnson's going to be out for who knows how many weeks now.
Right. How bad is that re-injury?
Right.
How bad is that what was it worth? What was it worth? We're down to the 2-minute warning, by the way. The Bears are trailing 52-21 with Tyson Bagent in the game for the Bears.
This comment here from Jeff, he says, I need Pablo Torre to investigate how Ryan Poles got this extension.
This is
so that's what I was going to say, Dan. When we looked at last week's game and we saw the gap between the top of the division and the bottom of the division, and the Bears came out and embarrassed themselves last week. They came out today and they played terrible, and we see that gap, that deficit is so large from the top of the division to the bottom of the division. And you know who that is not on? That is not on Ben Johnson. That is on Ryan Poles, 100%.
Well, here's the next question.
Okay.
How good is the Packers defense then? If the Packers defense made this Detroit offense struggle the way they did, oh boy.
Yeah, Detroit had a hard time moving the ball, and I mean, in this game, it looks like they're playing my son's football team in moving the ball. But I told you that if they stay healthy, their run defense will easily be top 5, easily top 5, and they have some really good players. Although you may not know all their names in the secondary as well. That is going to be a defense that is going to cause problems all year long.
Mm-hmm.
They will compete with Jordan Love. How good can he be? How good will he be this year? I mean, the top of the division is so far away from where the Bears are right now. I hate going back to what we've said weeks ago, but we both agreed that the Bears could have a very positive season this year off of the 5 wins last year and still easily finish last in this division. They're going to finish easily last in this division because they are fucking terrible.
Why else?
Right.
Why else? But the primary reason is the one you just stated. And I kept seeing, too, every time the Bears wanted to run tempo, and they noticed a personnel grouping defensively that they liked, and they said, all right, let's get things moving. Maybe let's get a jump on the crowd noise a little bit. And then they kept penalties, whether it was false starts or the Drew Dahlman holding penalty. So many times they created their own headwinds. They kept stepping on their own dong every time they tried to do something where it made sense. You said, oh, okay, I like this idea. And then, well, okay, the clock stopped and now you're walking backwards again. Too much of that. Too much of that. They had some attempts at play action, but if you can't really get the run game going, if you can't marry up one part of your offense to another part, everything is desultory. Nothing seems to matter relative to other things. I know that term complementary football means certain things to certain people. This is the opposite of that. Whatever the Bears are trying to do on one side of the ball isn't helping the other. And there are and don't even start me on special teams. Don't even start me on... the coverage teams were better, but you're right. That initial kick out of bounds set the tone for Detroit's first drive.
Yeah, and it's just that's just embarrassing. I mean, given what the game you came off of special teams wise, and the way the game ended with that mistake on that kickoff, then you come out this week and your first kickoff, the follow up that last kickoff is kicked out of bounds. It's just bad. And then the Lions come out 5 plays, 60 yards. Their next scoring drive, 4 plays, 50 yards. And going back to that play that ended the half, Dan, I don't know if you caught what Ben Johnson had to say about it coming back onto the field, but he said that he was told by one official that it was halftime, go to the locker room, and then another official said, no, it's not a halftime. So he even said, this is him, I'm not sure what the hell. He goes, I'm not sure what the hell happened. I'm not sure what the hell was going on. But
why not?
I mean, even he was confused by it, but that was kind of one guy in the stadium I wanted not to be confused by it. I was confused by it, but I'm sitting at home watching the game, and I'm not the NFL head coach. There was one guy who should have known what was happening and been able to explain it. I was hoping it was the Bears head coach, but he couldn't either.
The final seconds are ticking off as we speak, as a grim-faced Ben Johnson is trudging toward midfield to have what I'm sure is a sad little dap-up with his former boss.
And this comment here from Chris, he says, it's a good question, too. We talked about cutting Stevenson. He says, so if we cut Stevenson, they score more than 52? So, I mean, yeah, really, what's the point?
A 50 burger.
Does it really matter if we have him or not?
A goddamn 50 burger. Well.
The Lions covered that 6.5, by the way.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm doing the math quick. 1, 5, 2, 3, 31 points they won by.
Now, also, let the record show that my DBU pick, brought to you by my bookie, actually came in. That I said that DeAndre Swift would, what was it, fewer than 14.5 rushing attempts?
Yeah, I thought you were going to lose that by the first half.
I thought so too. But you know what? This is the karmic justice of such things, because we thought I was going to win the previous DeAndre Swift bet with the yardage and the reception yardage in the previous game, but that one actually came in, so I'm not a complete idiot.
So if the Bears land the number 1 pick this year, what quarterbacks are coming out of college?
Well,
we can look
don't even.
Sorry. By the way, you want some good news then? I
want all the good news.
The Vanderbilt Commodores take down the number 11 South Carolina Gamecocks 31-7.
Well, your guy Diego Pavia, and I was watching very closely in the highlights and hearing Trev Albert say something. That's vintage Diego Pavia right there. And I said, yes. If he already has a vintage play that's basically kind of a little out route for a touchdown that everybody throws all the time, I didn't know that. That's what he does.
He started it, Dan. He started the out route for a touchdown.
Yeah, but you're burying the lead. Did you see what Tulane did to my alma mater?
No.
Oh, it was Jake Retzloff was just all over the place. It was a huge win for the 3-0 Tulane Green Wave. Roll damn wave.
So our shows, we are the official shows of the Green Wave and the Commodores. I love it.
Well, why not? I don't know what your attachment is to the Commodores other than just liking Diego Pavia.
It's Diego Pavia.
Right, but you can't just claim them, can you?
Yes. Oh, God, yeah. They're my team. Yeah.
All right.
We are the official show of the Vanderbilt Commodores.
All right. Well, if you're just joining us and maybe you're like, hey, I think I'm going to tune in to Forward Progress and see how Bernstein and Abatacola are doing after the Bears get spanked 52-21. Well, we started a while ago, so we have now already been on here for over a half an hour. And the question of where the Bears can go from here is you're already picking up the pieces.
Oh, they can go back to Soldier Field and play the Cowboys.
You're already picking up the pieces. But now you've got a game that you would presume is winnable if the Cowboys are doing what they're doing heading into overtime against the Giants. The Giants are terrible. So this is your chance. Like, if you start, tell me now which games the Bears win on this remaining schedule. In how many of these remaining games? You got 15 games left. In how many of these are they going to be favored? In how many games remaining?
Let's see.
And you're already hurt.
Let me take a look here. All right. So we have Cowboys.
So they'll be favored.
At home. They should be favored. Commanders, they'll be underdogs. Let's see here.
How did I say 8 or 9 wins for them?
All right, wait. Hang on a second. So they host the Cowboys favored. They go to the Raiders. Underdogs there on the road?
Probably because they're on the road.
At Commanders, they're underdogs there. Oh, and that's a 7:15 game. Is that Monday night, October 13th? Is that a Monday night? It sounds like it.
Okay.
So another Monday night game for the Commanders and the Bears. They host the Saints.
Yeah, they'll be favored in that.
So I mean, at that point, they'll be 1-4 maybe, at best 2-3, going to the Saints game. So you think they're favored there? They go to the Ravens, they'll be underdogs. They go to the Bengals, underdogs.
It depends. Didn't Burrow leave the game today?
Yeah, but he went and got a hot dog. So he's fine. He just left for a hot dog.
You
He was
sure?
hungry. Yeah. No, I don't know. I have to go look. Did he leave the
hot
game?
dogs sound good. I have
You
those
should do hot dogs for dinner tonight.
I have those Omaha Steaks jumbos. I think I'm going to grill them.
Wait, Omaha Steak sent you hot dogs too?
Oh yeah.
And filet mignon burgers?
Yeah, and I used the burgers last night in a meat sauce. It was phenomenal. It was amazing.
Oh, the sauce was made out of meat.
Yeah.
It was a meat sauce. Oh, I don't know if you put it on your meat. So Bengals, then they host the Giants.
Okay.
That should be favored.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
okay.
at that point,
all right. They just have to play teams that are worse than they are. And
Vikings, Steelers, Eagles, those are all losses.
Yeah.
Packers loss. Browns. Packers loss.
I don't want to see the Packers.
I don't want to see them twice.
I don't want to see them at all.
And the good thing is you get to do it twice in 3 weeks.
Yeah, they're good luck. Good luck with that.
Oh, good luck with this division.
Well, that's over.
Yeah, I mean they're gonna go over in the division.
So last week, remind me, and I'm sorry if I'm all over the place here, but I'm a little verklempt with this happening to the Bears like this, as thoroughly as they were outclassed on the road in this game. Remind me what Ben Johnson said last week about why the tight ends weren't involved. It was something to the effect of the game plan didn't call
it was
for
like
them, right?
The game just didn't call for it. That they were part of blocking for the run game, pass protection. It's just they weren't intended to go downfield and get passes. It was really meant to stay in and help block last week.
Okay, well, is Colston Loveland healthy? He's listed as having a target. So
as far as I'm aware, he's healthy. Yeah.
Now, I know it's hard for rookie tight ends. It's as difficult a position for a rookie as there is outside a quarterback. You got to go know everything in the run game, everything in the pass game, and what Brock Bowers did as a rookie was historic because it's usually not a position where as a rookie you can just jump right in and be that great. But he's already on a trajectory to potentially be a Hall of Fame tight end when he already broke all of Koch's records. But even so, because Loveland is a pass catcher first and foremost, why can't he be out there at least catching passes?
I don't know. Why can't he line up in the slot and just go out for?
That's what I mean.
For routes, yeah,
right,
yeah. I mean, he doesn't need to line up on the line and chip and release and delay. And I mean, why not just line him up and let him go? Because he was supposed to really change this offense a bit and really, add to it a great impact of what Ben Johnson can do. Imagine what Ben Johnson's going to be able to do now with Colston Loveland and Roma Dunze and DJ Moore.
511 total yards for the Detroit Lions today. 511. 334 passing, 177 rushing. They had the same number of yards as Mel Ott had career home runs. Not great. Not great.
Penalties finish up to 8 for 50 for the Bears. So they clean that up. And here's the great thing. The time of possession was pretty much even. 29-40 to 30-20.
0 sacks for the Bears. And Grady Jarrett did not look good either. While we're talking about injuries and conditioning, this might just be another expensive signing of a downside player. Because he was not moving like I expected him to move. They dropped him in coverage a couple times, but you didn't see anybody win up front.
Dan, the Lions averaged 8.8 yards per play.
Per play?
Per play.
Oy. Ugh.
Yeah, you're not going to stop a whole lot of teams when you're giving up almost 10 yards. Fucking play.
Man.
So I don't know. You know what? And we discussed this and we said it very clear for the people that were questioning the idea of having higher standards last week for the game. Did not expect them to win this game. But, to come out and to have 52 dropped on you on the road in a really, I get it, a tough place to play. It's loud. I mean, they did take pressure off Caleb by having a direct snap to Swift to start the game.
It wasn't loud late. It wasn't. It was loud early, and they were fine.
It wasn't loud late because they were up by 30 points.
Exactly. But it was 21-14 when Detroit got it on their own 25 at the very end of the second quarter. And that's when things changed. Yeah,
I will say that second touchdown to Rome, though, that made it 21-14, I love that play. That's a great play. So he's wide out left. He comes in motion behind the line, stops just before Dahlman, and then breaks it back off to the zone that he cleared out. It's a really, really well-designed, really well-executed play. It looked really good. Made a really nice, easy throw for Caleb.
He made it look easy, but the adjustment that he had to make with his arm angle.
Yeah, because he has the option to run there. And you're right. He's going left. He's throwing, obviously, as a right-handed player. So it was a really good throw, not an easy throw to make. Yeah, that's
right. We take it for granted because he makes a lot of those throws where he changes his arm angle.
And then there was a really great first down early in the game to Rome between two defenders that he had to put a bullet in a really small window. So it's why he's really frustrating to see those plays, but then to see that goddamn interception he threw. If you're throwing it out of bounds, throw it out of bounds. What are you doing?
I have no idea what that was.
How do you make those two throws, but then you're unable to throw a ball out of bounds?
I have no idea.
Leave it in an area where a guy who had 9 picks last year was able to catch it.
Kirby Joseph makes the interception. I did not understand what was happening on that play. If he was in between throwing it out of bounds and not, or changing his mind in the middle of his throwing motion, he'll be asked about it, I'm sure, in moments, if not immediately.
You've covered a lot of teams. Can they script the entire game? As our the listener says here.
Well, that's what we trusted that Ben Johnson would do, and that's an ongoing disappointment. It's one thing last year when they couldn't score on the opening drive, and now they keep scoring on the opening drive. Yes. And the scripting is working. Whether or not it works isn't the point. Do you learn more from it than your opponent does? Do you learn more from the scripting than your opponent does? And this is consecutive games where it appears that it hasn't mattered. And the reason why you want your brilliant offensive coach is so he can say, okay, now I have a look at the defense based on the diagnostics that I've created. How do you make it matter? And we just didn't see it matter. They were daring Caleb Williams to take the top off of this defense. And whether it is from a lack of time to throw or a lack of speed or both. It's sort of like we talked about with what the Packers defense is able to do when they rush 4 and can just drop into an umbrella the way they did. It was there for them. And the Bears got a gift when the crosser against the zone for Odunze resulted in Jack Campbell biting on it, and then both defensive backs miscommunicating, and they got a gift touchdown out of that.
Absolute gift, yes.
But fine. That generally against that zone, just you've got to get somebody deep. You've got to be able to run verts. You've got to be able to take the top off. And they were daring the Bears to do it. And I'm not sure if Johnson just didn't trust his pass protection, concerned that Braxton Jones is going to get bull rushed again. Why would you ever use a move against Braxton Jones? Why? There's no point.
You don't
need to hand fight. You don't need a rip. You don't need a hump move.
Yeah, you can just push him right into the quarterback.
Go right into his neck every single time.
Caleb for you, because he'll take him down to the ground too.
He is so susceptible to bull rushes. 52-21, the final. And we're going to see the level of exasperation or the level of crisis is the wrong word because you're starting a new regime here. But they were not at rock bottom. Do the Bears really need to bottom out before growing?
No,
that wasn't the plan.
They were supposed to win. They were supposed to win. Ben Johnson said it a few weeks ago that they can win now.
I'm immensely disappointed.
This isn't rebuilding, bottoming out.
No,
this is the number 1 overall pick, and you have a top 10 wide receiver, and you spent money on your offensive line, on some of it at least.
All of those resources, guard, center, guard.
I mean, you had big
money
contracts to
picks.
Montez Sweat, big contract to DJ Moore. This isn't rebuilding. This is be competitive now for this division, and you are so far from winning a game in this division, Dan. Not even competing for the division, but you're not going to win a game in this division. You're going to go 0-6. You're gonna what did take the North, right?
Take the North and never give it back.
Right. I mean, well, when's that start? I mean, you're not going to win a game in your division, and yet you're still the general manager and getting extensions. You're not going to win a game in your division.
They'll probably win one just because.
They're not going to win a game in this division.
I understand what you're saying.
They had their chance. It was Monday night, and they lost it.
In an NFL season, there's one of those that just kind of falls to you because something weird happens.
That was it. That was Monday night. 1-5 should have been their record.
It was like the win over the Packers at the end of last year.
They gave that one away. That was their division win this year. Monday Night Football, first game of the season. They're going to go 0-6. Not even a question in my mind. If that's a bet I could make right now, I'd make it right now.
And the shame of it, once again, is this secondary that was in a position to be, on paper, one of the best in the entire NFL is now just a shell of itself and being absolutely shredded. And if you can't rush the passer, you're asking that secondary to do more than it's capable of doing, which right now is basically just covering anybody.
And it's not pronounced Tesla. What is it?
Tesla.
Tesla.
His name is Isaac Tesla.
Tesla,
isn't it?
I think you're right. Yeah, but does he have in his contract he can only make one-handed catches? Because
yes.
He has 2 now.
Yes.
2 in the NFL, both one-handed.
Yep. He went to a Division II college and then transferred to Arkansas and was a 3rd-round pick. This isn't just some schmo. It's a 3rd-round pick. Yeah. See, their 3rd-round picks play.
Well, play for 1 catch today. He had 1 catch last week, too.
But they contribute to winning.
Yeah. Well, Luther Burden III, he had a nice return today, but he doesn't get on the field for offense, does he?
No, he's not allowed to yet. Or something. I don't know. And I don't know what Colston Loveland does, but the moment I shouldn't feel bad about the Bears from the moment the inactives come out.
This listener is so glad this team will have a new stadium to lose in.
Thank you, Robert. And
in 2032.
Believe me, I appreciate all the feedback and appreciate everything. Thanks to everybody who over the weekend was emailing everything and emailing us mad about the Lions that we missed in our top 10 all-time Lions.
Yeah, there's one I can't remember. Somebody emailed me and I was like, shit, how did I forget that one? I'll have to go back and look at what it was.
Yeah, that's okay. We'll have another chance.
Yeah.
This is really unfortunate, and there's going to be a tremendous amount of pressure now. I'm wondering how, after yet another film breakdown of so many things going wrong and so many opportunities going by the wayside, and just watching a defense get shredded, how you put a floor in now. How at some point do you already, we're 2 games in to the Ben Johnson regime, and is it safe to say that things are getting worse already? Is that fair? Are things getting worse?
Well, it's interesting because you give this guy $13 million a year to run this team, the hottest prospect out in coaching in the offseason. No one was upset the Bears got him, including myself, although I wanted Jim Harbaugh 2 years ago. You expected to see a cleaner, better game, a better rebound game from Monday night, and you came out and totally shit the bed. So to answer your question, yes, things just got worse, Dan. Things just got worse.
All right.
You lost to a divisional opponent 52-21 in a very embarrassing fashion, where all of your strengths are either injured or playing poorly.
Well, let's ask this then.
All of your proposed strengths, I should say.
What do the Bears do well? What can they count on? What can they go into a game knowing they can do?
Well, I mean, they're all dressed and equipped properly.
What can they go into a game knowing they can do? What is their game? If you're coordinating against them, what do you say we absolutely have to stop?
Nothing.
We have to take this away first.
Nothing. And I'm not trying to be an asshole. There's nothing they do so well that any team on their schedule says we need to make sure we stop X or stop this within their game plan. There is not one of those players or any part of their game that says, all right, we need to make sure we contain this aspect of their game. They do not have one. What do they do well? I don't know. As of right now, they do not do anything well. They show opportunities of a quarterback who can really throw a good ball, but he throws more bad balls than good balls.
It is certainly too early for a symbolic move of a symbolic benching or the people who wanted to cut Tyreek Stevenson. You can't afford to cut anybody in that secondary when you got Nick McLeod and Nashawn Wright on the field.
But it doesn't matter. Even with him, you give up 52. What does it matter if he's there or not?
Well, and also,
like if you're looking for a sacrificial lamb, he's the guy. They should have cut him last year. They made that mistake.
Well,
after the Commanders game, he should have been gone. Period.
I don't want to feel like I'm burying the lead here, but until Caleb Williams tightens everything up, this isn't going anywhere. Until Caleb Williams does away with some of the inexplicable bad decisions and or bad throws, this isn't going anywhere.
But listen, that's why Ben Johnson is here. He was going to work with Caleb Williams. Did you think it would be anywhere near this bad after 2 games?
No.
Correct.
So Caleb Williams was 19 of 30, 207 yards, 2 touchdowns, and that one horrendous interception for a passer efficiency rating of 91.9. And there were those 4th down plays, just the number of times where they finished with nothing on some of these drives and some of these opportunities. With Ben Johnson, you're supposed to at least flip the field if you're not scoring on every possession. Everything's got to matter. And so far it's fits and it starts and it's just too damn bumpy. So we're going to be spotlighting the decision to put Tyson Bagent in the game because I know that there's going to be more read into it. The answers that Johnson gives about why he did it are going to set the narrative, are going to set whatever the next story is for what Williams' immediate future is going to be. Because if there is a scintilla of belief that there is dissatisfaction enough at the position that there could be a thought in the very back of somebody's mind about making a change, you know that's going to catch fire. So if they just say, look, we wanted to get him out of there because the game was decided and we wanted to make sure he stayed healthy. Anything less than that is going to open the door for the kind of speculation that's going to get out of the Bears' control. And I hope they know that. How they manage this move is going to be critical.
Yeah, Dan, you're exactly right. And someone has to script that for him and say this word for word. This is what we say. Because that's not, I've seen the first couple of weeks, that's not what he's really good at. And he'll go a bit too far and try to pull it back. And we wanted to get him out of there to avoid injury, period.
That's
Stop it there.
And they've got to know it. They've got to know it going into this post game. They got to make sure, because anything that isn't just overtly, explicitly clear in that regard, and they don't know what kind of hell is coming to breakfast for them. They don't know what's going to be coming down if they give any indication that it was in part due to unsatisfactory play and they want, because first of all, the concept would be preposterous. And I can't believe I'm even really entertaining this right now, because what it was 45-21, or was it already 51-21 when they took him out?
I thought they
whatever it was. They're not playing defense. There's no way you could come to any judgment. So this can't be more than that. It can't be more than that. But the fact that it was done midway through the fourth, there was approximately 1/8 of a divisional NFL game left, and the quarterback was taken out. Now, the Bears are so bad at messaging, and they've been so bad at messaging. If they screw this up, it's on them. But if they leave any wiggle room, any daylight here about why that was done,
the fans will run through that door.
Good luck to them.
Yeah.
Good luck to them, and it'll be of their own doing.
All right, Bears lose 52-21. 0-2 on the season, and then they host the Dallas Cowboys next Sunday at noon.
And I'll tell you this, if I were reporting on this game, if I were running down there with a microphone, that's the first thing I'm asking Caleb Williams. I'm making sure, because he's going to stand up there and because back in the day, after a podium thing, you could track. We didn't have that. You just go to the locker and track these guys down and spend time and sit at the locker with them. But when they were showing him, there were a lot of cutaways, and because I have the TV on mute here, I'm trying to see everything, and I didn't hear what the broadcasters were saying when they kept cutting away to Caleb Williams standing by himself on the sideline. It didn't, and I hate doing this, so I'm not going to, but I'd like to know what was being said as he was kind of wandering around the sideline, apparently by himself. I don't know what else was shown. I'm not at the game. I don't know what else was seen.
Here's the problem with that, though, Dan, because that doesn't speak to the narrative of we wanted to take him out. There was no reason to get him hurt. He's our starting quarterback. He's our franchise quarterback. He's our number one quarterback, whatever it is. That there leads the narrative of he's not with the team. Like, why wasn't he with a coach? And even if the coach wasn't saying anything instructive to him or critical at that point, be together to look like, this is still your team. But that being off by yourself says a lot.
We have some post-game quotes from Ben Johnson coming in here via Twitter. This is from Courtney Cronin. Does a terrific job on the beat. Quotes Ben Johnson as saying, quote, "Anytime you lose a game like that, man, it's a kick in the teeth." Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Ain't that a kick in the teeth?
Wow.
What are you going to do about it then? What are you prepared to do?
Well, Dan, they're going to get on the same page. They're going to work hard this week to make sure that they have everything in place to move forward. And we're going to turn the page on this game and look forward and get ready for the Cowboys. I mean, it's not about effort, Dan. It's about, the guys, they put effort out there. And, and we all want to win. And sometimes, Dan, these things just happen. So we're going to turn the page on this one. We're going to get on the same page, and we're going to come together as a group and figure out how to get ready for the Cowboys on Sunday.
All right. Well,
he'll finish that with, how about them Cowboys?
Don't go all fatalistic with me here. I better not hear any of that. I better not hear this thing. Well, these are the kind of things that certain things just kind of happen.
What's the analogy? I mean, when the train starts rolling on the track, sometimes you just can't stop it. Those things happen.
Yeah, when it rains, it pours.
Sometimes they catch fire and you can't stop it. So
wait, the train catches fire?
Yes, that's a bad train. You get off that one.
Brandon Aubrey has just banged through the game-winning field goal for the Cowboys. So the Cowboys outlast the Giants in overtime.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah, I was expecting that as time expires. 40-37, the final, with the Cowboys improving to 1-1 as they head in to Chicago to take on a Bears team that, frankly, is already reeling.
Yep,
they're already reeling.
2 weeks. This is not what I anticipated 2 weeks into Ben Johnson's time as the Bears head coach. The problem is greater than Ben Johnson, though, as a whole. So Bears lose 52-21. And Dan Campbell said they're going to win the game. He said we have to win. This is a game we cannot lose.
All right, well, you have a game to coach right now, and we have tomorrow's Dan Bernstein Unfiltered and Forward Progress to begin to prepare for. Remember, if you are enjoying this postgame, we are on every Bears game day immediately after the game here on YouTube on Forward Progress on 312 Sports. So tomorrow, join us. We are going to be there, and we are going to be covering absolutely everything Bears on Forward Progress, and obviously the big picture stuff also on Dan Bernstein Unfiltered, which both of which will be dropping midday tomorrow. Maddie, you and the Wildcats of Libertyville, who are you playing today?
We are playing Stevenson.
Are they good?
They're off to a good start this year, yes.
I wish you were playing Tyreek Stevenson.
So do I. I'd go deep every time.
Yeah, well, let's have the theme of Stevenson getting picked on be the theme of the day when it comes to your team.
All right, I'll let you know what happens, buddy.
All right, man. So join us tomorrow for a lot more.
Thanks for joining Forward Progress live here after Bears lose to the Lions 52-21.